Okay.
What was the first thing I was going to say?
And now just back. Go ahead.
Tell you about my children.
Yes.
Well, I, they, all three of them finished high school and Mamie went to college, and she got a good job with what school was that? University of North Carolina. And Emily, when she got married, she went to Maryland. They moved to Maryland, and she didn't finish college. She won a scholarship at Carver.
Okay.
But she wouldn't take it.
My.
She said I couldn't afford to send her and buy her clothes and everything and books. But I think she kind of learned, she got some good jobs.
Right.
And Larry, when he came back from Vietnam, he went down to ICC and he got he studied electricity and something else. I forgot what it was now. But anyway, he got his education down here at ICC.
So they went on and took courses and so forth.
I was proud of all three of them. They did good. I give the Lord credit.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I'm just curious about now, Sister Mamie, you went on to Chapel Hill, and what school you probably said that you attended there?
Durham.
Yeah, I went to Durham Tech.
Okay.
And Durham Business School first, and then Durham Tech. But I worked for the university system, not the actual college. I worked for the system where the presidents were.
Okay.
The presidents were over all 16 states.
That's right, 16 campuses.
So
yeah.
I worked for the presidents, three of them, Bill Friday, Dick Spangler, and Molly Broad. And then I retired.
Was the Molly Broad, she was the last one, I guess, wasn't she?
No, after her, I think there's been, let's see, Erskine Bowles came in.
Okay.
And then there were two or three others after her. But, she was the last one I worked for.
Well, I want to go back to you, Sister Green, and talk about growing up here. And you shared some things about growing up here at Piney Ridge community and so forth, and the growing up on the farm and so forth. But also, let's go down to some of the organizations. I knew you were a member at Piney Ridge. How many years have you?
Piney Ridge, all my life, all but except for my marriage. When he died, we lived in Spartanburg. He died down there, and we lived down there 2 years after he died, and then I moved back up here and reinstated at Pine Ridge. So when I was in Spartanburg, I belonged to the Baptist. He was a Baptist.
Now, was your husband from Spartanburg?
No, he was from Franklinton, North Carolina.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, now talk about going to Spartanburg.
He worked on the road. They build roads.
Okay.
And then when he got sick.
Right.
And his boss man was going to fire him. And a lot of the people that he was working with, they quit too. And so that's how they went to Spartanburg, where he got a job down there. That's where he was, that's where he died.
Right.
Yeah. I got a job with Bill Elliott in Spartanburg. And
So you stayed down there several years?
down there, yeah, 2 years after he died.
2 years
and,
after he died.
And then we moved back up here and reinstated at
Piney Ridge.
And then I was a Sunday school teacher a while. I was a class leader.
Okay.
Missionary president. Yeah, and some of my awards is hanging on the wall behind the door there. So you can see them if you want to.
Right. Go ahead and share about it. So you were quite involved in Piney Ridge.
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
And I, yeah, did a lot there.
Now let's go from Piney Ridge to the Eastern Star.
Eastern Star. Well, you know, when my father passed, me and my mother was living here, you know, and to keep from just sitting here, I joined the Eastern Star. And I really enjoyed it because, you know, a lot of people say they don't believe in the Eastern Star and Masons, but we went by the Bible. You know, in the Eastern Stars, each point was one of the women in the Bible.
Right.
And I can't tell you about the Mason because I don't know.
Okay.
They knew more about us than we did them.
Right. That's right. Because y'all had to have some men to meet
Right.
with, because I know my dad was.
Yeah, we had worthy patron. I was the worthy matron a while. Did I tell you that?
Right. I thought you were. Yeah.
And the men was the worthy patrons.
Right.
Yeah.
I know my dad was.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Mr. Spudgeon may have been.
Well, he
Tom's.
He wasn't there when I was there.
Okay.
Brother Julius Forney.
Okay, I know Brother Forney.
Yeah, he was one.
And he was a member at Piney Ridge
Yeah,
as
he
well.
was a member at Pine Ridge.
Right.
Yeah. And the worthy matron was Sister. When I went in, it was, who was the worthy matron?
Wasn't Lonnie Toms, was it?
Lonnie Toms wasn't there when I
Okay,
went in.
I just wondered.
It was this, what was her name? Anyway, Ellen Boyce was a worthy matron one time. And
That's fine. This, but you were involved in that quite a bit. Let's go from talking about we talked about Piney Ridge, talked about the Eastern Star. Now, just in growing up in Rutherford County, some of the things that you've seen happen over time. I know you remembered before, let's say 1965, and in the Civil Rights Bill of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed, and then the Voting Rights Act was passed in 1965, how things were before the Civil Rights Act and what you saw take place.
Well, you know, my first job was $3 a week. And I stayed on the job for $3.50 a week. And
now, where was this?
That was, it was here in Rolton.
Right.
Yeah, I worked for the justices, and she didn't want, I was a little skinny thing, and she was fat. But she wanted to give me her clothes instead of paying me. And so that was one of the things.
How did that go over?
It didn't go over because I couldn't wear her clothes.
Yeah, but
I did take one dress for my mother.
Okay, but did you talk to her about that, or what? How did this get resolved? You didn't say anything.
I just told her I didn't want it. Yes. Yeah, so, yeah. And I would have to work. One job I worked on, I did the, well, all of them. I had to do the cleaning and the cooking and taking care of children. And you know, I was driving. I'd carry them to school and to their little meetings and things, and do all the cooking and washing and ironing.
And now I'm just going to be asked, was this for what, $3 and something?
No, I was making more then.
You were making more
making
then?
$25 a week.
Okay.
And the lady would give me a raise, $3. I'm giving you a raise, but I don't know for what. And I'm doing everything.
Right.
And she'd stand upstairs and throw my check down to me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'd be, when I get through, she'd drop my check down.
Now, do you mind saying who this was?
No, I don't mind. It was, what's the name?
Huh?
Maybe I better not.
Okay, don't worry if you don't feel comfortable. Anyway, go right ahead. But this happened.
This happened.
Threw the check
It
down
did.
to you.
Mhm.
Oh my. I'm going to tell you.